guys, today we have Arjit with us. He is currently working as a software developer at Optum. So we will today interview him about take about his interview experience at various companies. He also cracked TCS Infosys. So let's start. So he will be today sharing his interview experience of Infosys. So let's start with his introduction. So can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hi guys, so this is Arjit Roy Chaudhary. I have completed my graduation in Kalyani Government Engineering College that is located in Kolkata in the computer science engineering domain. And apart from that, I have been into competitive programming field in my second year and third year. And also side by side, I have explored a domain called data science, natural language processing and analytics domain. So I have some internship experience in some two different analytics company. One is called CB Analytics and another one is Optisolve Business Solutions Private Limited. So there I have worked as an ML engineer intern. So that is about my experience, and that is the knack on the technology side. And I am very much into the trending technology part. So I always explore different kind of trending technologies, like what are the things that has just come into the market, and I would always love to explore them. So that is the brief about me and my background. So that is the thing. And nice to meet you, everyone.
Yeah. Good to hear that you are very much interested into tech, just not doing some tech. Yeah. So, was your recruitment at Infosys on campus or off campus?
Infosys actually they didn't visit our college. It was an off-campus recruitment.
Okay, so it was through Infotp or Hackwitinfy?
So I backed the offer from Hackwitinfy. Many of my friends have backed the offer from Infotp as well.
Okay, so can you briefly go through the journey of your Hackwitinfy from how many rounds were there, coding rounds, then the interview?
Yeah, so Hackwitinfy basically is a 3-round process. They have 2 rounds of coding rounds, like 2 coding rounds were there. So the round 1 is basically the qualification round, they called it. And the second round is basically the qualification round for the interview. So they basically offer 2 positions. One is SES and another one is BP through this particular 2 coding rounds and this total competition Hackwitinfy. But if the candidate doesn't perform well in the SES, or if they don't qualify for the SES and BP, then they will just demote their offer to SE also. So I have seen many cases where people are getting offer of system engineers. Instead, they have given interview for power programmer and digital specialist engineer or system engineer specialist, whatever you will say. So in my case, our Hackwitinfy, I just gave the Hackwitinfy exam in the month of March 2020, and I am basically a 2021 pass out. So in the March 2020, I have given the round 1 of Hackwitinfy, and there were 3 coding questions. For the qualification round, the coding questions were very simple. I would not say that it is very much hard, but they have 3 questions. One is of 50 marks, another one is of 75, and another one is of 100 marks. So the 100 marks question might be difficult, but the rest 2 questions are very much into the easy level. So if you solve the 50 marks questions alone, then also you can get qualified for the round 2. Now coming to the round 2, there are also the same pattern. The 3 questions will be given, but the questions level will be quite higher, into the higher side. And if I would rate them into the lead code level, then lead code medium to hard level questions will be there. So be prepared accordingly. So they will ask questions from the data structures, like complete data structures oriented questions like graph, binary search tree, binary tree, even the red black tree questions also were given to some candidates. And apart from that, in the algorithm side, they are focused more on like dynamic programming and also greedy algorithms. So in my case, there were 3 questions, one from greedy algorithms, another one is from dynamic programming, and the third one is from a graph. So I was able to solve 2 questions. One is of greedy and another one is of dynamic programming. So I was not able to solve the third one completely, but I have passed some particular test cases. So that's why I just got the interview invitation for power programmer role, and my interview got scheduled in the month of September. So the total process, the interview lasted for around 2 hours 30 minutes. So don't just get puzzled, cause this particular thing happened only for me. For many people, just on an average, I would say that this interview lasted for around 1 hour. Okay, so not more than that. So they will ask one data structure questions, and they will ask one SQL query or any kind of some computer science fundamental questions. So they will ask this kind of questions. So one data structure coding questions will be asked in the interview. So no matter which interviewer you are going to, but they will ask one question, like one question at least from the computer science background, from the data structures backgrounds. Okay, so that is the thing. And in my case, the round lasted for 2 hours 30 minutes. Why the round lasted for 2 hours 30 minutes? Because they have asked me questions. They have asked me a couple of questions from data structures and algorithm. So I would mention that one question is from shortening the URL. That is a situation based problem, and I had to just brainstorm a lot of time, and the interviewer was quite supportive. He just helped me a lot in solving that particular problem. Basically, they will analyze your problem solving skill. Don't think that if you are unable to solve that problem, you'll be out of the interview process. So don't think that. They will check your effort and how much good you in analyzing that particular problem, in solving that particular problem. That will also be taken into count. Okay, so that is the thing. And apart from that, some standard data structures algorithm questions were also asked. That is basically Geeks for Geeks. You will find them in the Geeks for Geeks platform. So that is like what is the intersection point of two linked list, detect a loop in a particular linked list, this kind of questions. And also like whether a loop is like whether a particular graph is a tree or not, that kind of questions they basically asked. I cannot just exactly remember all the questions, but this kind of questions they have asked. And the thing is that the critical question was that the shortening the URL question. So that is the question where I just got stuck for quite a moment. So that's why my interview went for 2 hours 30 minutes. And apart from the coding questions, that I have been asked some computer science fundamental questions also, but in very little amount. So they have asked me questions from operating system, and some project discussions were also there. But I would say that in the 2 hours 30 minutes, they have asked me questions from computer science fundamentals and projects for only 30 minutes. I would say that less than 30 minutes. Mostly my time spent on that data structures and problem solving questions. So that is a brief about my interview experience.
Okay, so there was only one interview.
Yes, in my case there were 2 interviews, but mostly they took like one round of interview for most of the candidates. I don't know that like when they have first taken the interviews, then they just have conducted 2 rounds of interview. The first round was totally technical round. The second one was the managerial round. Okay. In my case, they didn't ask any kind of technical questions in the second round, but in very few people, like they have asked some questions from the technical domain as well, but not that much stuff. Generally to check whether you are good in problem solving, whether you have how good you were in your previous technical round, this kind of things they were checking.
So the coding questions were they of like lead code type or code forces or code chef type?
If you solve
in the coding round
problems
in the coding round.
Okay, so in the coding round, I would say that the questions you will not find on internet. Okay, so the questions they have made by themselves, and I really appreciate their effort, because the interview, the coding questions are of such a level that you will find in some top product-based companies. So being a service-based company, I didn't expect this thing from Infosys, but they have put their effort so much in the Hackwitinfy competition. So I would say that.
If you do competitive coding, then only I think it would be a lot better for you in Hackwitinfy.
Exactly. You just need to be very much good in competitive programming field, because solving data structures and algorithm in normal known platforms like LeetCode, Interview will not help you that much. I have also practiced in LeetCode and Interview bit. Like I got a lot of help from that particular platforms, but I would say that if you are doing CP, then it would be extra plus for you. Crack that particular coding rounds,
especially for Infosys coding rounds, because they have good problems and they have good problems. So it was good. So How many questions were there in like both the coding rounds?
So there were 3 coding questions. So one is of 50 marks, one is of 75 marks, and one is of 100 marks. So the total marks was 225. So you can just rate them as according to their marks. So 50 marks was like easy wala question, 75 marks is of medium wala question, and 100. Exactly.
Yeah.
Their medium question is also tough, I would say, for the second round.
So any advice for the students to crack Hackwitinfy?
I would say that do whatever you are doing in the data structures and algorithm side. Practice in lead code and interview bit. But apart from that, if you have time and you have a knack and passion in the programming field, then do practice some CP. Do whatever side you feel suitable for you. Like it can be in Hackarat and HackerRank also. But do at least practice some of the things. I would suggest that if you do in Code Forces and Code Chef, then it would be an extra plus, because the quality of questions over there was so much like you have to utilize your brain so much, then only you can able to solve the problems. And don't just get demotivated by seeing the rating. So the rating system, I generally didn't care that much during my student life. So don't focus on that. Focus on how much you are learning. Okay. So that is the thing that will help in the 4th year during the interview process. Okay. So practice as much as you can, and don't think too much. Don't overthink too much. Like why I can't able to solve this problem, and the rest of the things, like why this problem is not being solved by me. So don't focus on these things. If you are not solving the problem, then just take the editorial and just see like how they have solved the problem. So and if you are getting ideas of some problems, then you will be able to solve that kind of problem in future. So that is the thing. That is the advice I would like to give to the viewers.
Okay, so at this point you made that focus more on the number of problems you solve and the more you grasp rather than rating high. Like this point is too important for today's world. Everyone is falling on ratings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Thank you very much for this advice to the student. This will definitely help them. Thanks a lot. So we will end this interview now, your interview experience, and we will meet in some other one more interview experience of Optum. So let's connect there, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and bye bye. Okay.